Hello, and welcome back to 3D Printing Basics. This is episode number 20. And for this episode, I got something special for you guys. I got an interview. In this episode, I'm going to be interviewing Nikko from Nikko Industries. We are going to talk about his journey in 3D printing, what the beginning stages were like for him, and also some beginning advice that he has for you guys, and also just his whole journey overall. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm super happy with this interview, but a couple things I want to get out of the way first before we get to it is that we have gotten to the point of 55-star reviews. So I'm going to be buying a Creality Ender 3 and also reporting on my progress and my experience with it. In order to find that, I think I'm going to be posting updates and the journey on my Instagram. My Instagram is 3D Printing Squared, Squared. It's all one word. And if you want to follow along on my journey with the Creality Ender 3, then you can check it out there. Second off, I wanted to say that I misspoke in the first 30 seconds, which is so candid of me. I said Nikko has his own podcast called 3D Printing Basics, which obviously is not correct. That's my podcast. His podcast is called 3D Printed Profits. And he interviews a lot of people who own 3D printing businesses. And I really love that podcast. And I will be sure to link that down below, as well as all the other links for where you can find Nikko and everything we talked about during the episode. One last thing is that there is a lot of cursing in this episode. I apologize for it if that's not your cup of tea, but I think I'm just going to leave it in for this episode, and then I'm going to ask my audience. I'm going to leave a Google form down in the show notes as well. If the cursing is something you have a problem with, please let me know. And next time I will go through and I will bleep out all the curse words. But I figured my audience is adults. We're all adults here, so really shouldn't be a problem. But if you do have a problem or if you're fine with it, check out the Google form below and let me know what you think. With that being said, let's get right into this interview. I hope you guys like it. Hey, it's me again. Sorry, just one more thing before we get to the interview. I have finished setting up my Patreon page. So if you want to listen to all these episodes ad-free, just no fluff, just a straight episode and nothing else, head to my Patreon page. It's 3D Printing Basics on Patreon. You can get all my episodes ad-free. There will be a link in the show notes. Thank you, and let's get to this interview.
ABC Wednesday.
Y'all complain all day. We want books. We want paper towels in the classroom. Bet you want raises too.
I'm still waiting on the paper towels.
Abbott Elementary returns with a new season.
We asked the district for more after-school programs. They gave us $50 for class pets instead.
Critics cheer. Abbott Elementary continues to be one of the funniest and most beloved shows on TV.
What y'all doing out there?
Taking bribes.
Proud of y'all.
Abbott Elementary. Season premiere Wednesday, 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
One. All right, this is the very first interview for 3D Printing Basics, and the guest that I have today, I'm very excited to talk to. This is my man Nikko from Nikko Industries. He is a 3D printer, one of the first ones that I came into the limelight. He did his own podcast called 3D Printing Basics. It was one of the first 3D printing podcasts that I really hopped onto, and I really enjoyed it. So Nikko, thank you so much for coming on.
It's an honor to be here, man.
All right, well, let's not waste any time. I want to start off with just, obviously we know your name is Nikko. Let's start into a little bit about who you are and what do you do.
So my name is Nikko. I am the Nikko Industries. And basically I provide files for people who want to 3D print stuff, mainly pop culture stuff, cosplay, statues, figures, toys, getting into home decor lately, and just a bunch of other stuff, man. So if you want to print it, if you want some cool stuff to print, come see me.
Yeah, I'll definitely be sure to add the website link in the show notes for you. And that's a really cool thing. I really like the selling files for everybody else because everybody can have a 3D printer, right? But not everybody has the design skills to really print what they want. So that's really cool that you're providing access to more complicated files that not everybody can design on their own.
Yeah, man. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, especially with the stuff that we make.
I bet. So, how long have you been in this game? How long have you been 3D printing?
Oh man, it's been a while, bro.
It
It's 2024,
is crazy to say. Crazy to say it's 2024.
bro. 6 years.
6 years, huh?
Yeah,
Dang, that's a while. That is
yeah.
a while.
So
And
I came on board with the when the CR10 was the printer. Like the
uh-huh,
CR10 was like, dude, y'all got to get a CR10.
yeah,
I remember when the CR10 was like $1,000, and I was like,
dude,
damn.
yeah,
Yeah, so I got
for
one,
real.
and that was
Uh,
like now it's the X1C, right? Like the X1C
yeah,
is the machine,
yeah,
but back
yeah,
when I first started, the craze was the CR10.
yeah. What would you say? Would you say it's the X1C or more like the P1P or P1S? I would argue for the P1S personally, just because of the price point. Um,
You have a point there. So
yeah,
price point, P1S is it's hard to beat, man.
yeah, it really
It's
is.
hard to beat. Creality just came up with like the X1S, I think, like last
Did
week.
it?
I think so. They're like, yeah, it's better, blah blah blah, and I was like, yeah, because your fucking K1 sucked.
Yeah, you tell
Your K1
him.
Max was good, but for us that just yeah. So the K1 isn't very good. I mean I have one. It's reliable. It prints, but
Mhm.
the X1C is just dude. They thought
Yeah.
of the little things that make a difference. It's on the X1C.
Yeah, that to me is the difference between getting people behind a 3D printing company who are actually in the game, who have been 3D printing versus people who are just business people, like these guys thought of everything. I mean, I have 5 printers and they're all Bamboo Labs. I have 2 P1Ps, 2 P1Ss and an X1C, and every single one of them I love. I love all of them. They're all perfect. I've been able to plug and play with very minimal maintenance on them, and they're perfect. They're all just great printers.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Let's see. So we know how long ago you got started. What was the first printer? You kind of already hinted at it, the CR10. I'm guessing that was your first printer, but if it wasn't, what was the first printer you started out with?
Yeah, nope. It was a CR10, man. It was a CR10. I was like, I need something big because I wanted to make props. Like that was my thing. I wanted to make a full Iron Man suit, and
Hmm.
I've printed. God, how many Iron Man suits have I made? Boy,
Countless. You're
and
starting to.
so
You're probably starting to look like Tony Stark from the actual movie with his like 50, 50 suits he's
man,
got.
I'm telling you, I might as well be,
Yeah.
but no, I
So.
don't have enough room in my house. But yeah, man, I needed something big. So the CR10 it was a 12 by 12 by 14, or sorry, by 16. So I was
Mhm.
like, dude, this thing's huge. So it did the job, man.
Hmm. So, for those of my listeners, I just want to clarify who don't know, the CR10 was kind of the mainstay printer before the Ender 3, I would say. Before the Ender 3 was the Ender 3, I'd say you had the CR10. That was kind of the first kind of jump in printer for, I feel, most of the people who are getting into 3D printing. It was kind of the first thing that they looked at. Would you agree with me, Nico?
I think they both came out about the same time.
Hmm.
The Ender 3 was just, I think, a cheaper
Yeah.
alternative. For the life of me, I could never understand why everyone got an Ender 3 when for just a couple $100 more, you'd get like double the size.
That's
And
that's
it blew
yeah.
my mind. I was like, why not?
I think people just didn't have the couple extra $100. They just wanted to get in for like 200,
That's
especially
I know, right?
especially for
Privilege
something
right
like
there.
this. Yeah. Hmm. But yeah, for sure, I know what you mean, and I have a special relationship with the Ender 3. I just did a thing with my podcast. Now that I got 55-star reviews, I have to get an Ender 3 and use it. So
Good luck.
so
So,
excited. I'm
so
so
an Ender
excited.
3 now, okay, an Ender 3 in 2024 versus an Ender 3 in 2018, different machine.
Yeah, I got an Ender 3 in 2020, and man, I had it when it had the rubber mat, like peel up, stick up,
Bro,
build
even
play
the
thing.
2020 Ender 3 versus an Ender 3 now, different
Yeah.
machine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Completely
So
different.
I'm hoping it's a little bit better. Yeah, my first experience with the Ender 3 was not good. It lasted
Oh, no, 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 no.
probably 4 months, and then I honestly don't know how I stayed in 3D printing after that. I
That's
mean, the
why
Ender 3
a
was
lot of people
horrendous.
were leaving in droves because they would get an Ender 3 for Christmas. They would get an Ender 3
Hmm.
off of Facebook Marketplace, and they're like, "Oh, 3D printing is easy. Like, yo, all
Yeah.
right. So they would get a machine, and they would think it's super easy. They would think it's all this, you
Mm,
know, and then they get in and they leave immediately. Like, I don't know how
yeah.
to put this together. I don't know how to start this. All that. It's tough.
It is, but that's what makes me super happy to see how far we've come. Like you have for the same price, you got like the Bamboo Lab A1 Mini, which is 10
A1
times
mini, right
10
out the box, dude. Go.
10 times the machine that the Creality Ender 3 ever was. So
Absolutely.
it makes me really happy to see, and it makes me hopeful that a lot more people who
Super
get it
fast.
like
It
for
prints
Christmas.
great. It's
Mm,
plug and play.
can't be beat. It can't be beat
You
for that
can't.
price point. Mm-mm.
Bamboo Lab is the king right now. Like,
Absolutely, for sure, for
absolutely,
sure.
they set the bar high,
Hmm.
and no one's been able to meet it.
They got everybody else playing catch up. I knew it really hit me what Bamboo Labs was when they had Prusa kind of panic drop their MK4. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
They
they're still
like
playing about it. Honestly, I don't get why people get cruisers. I don't.
I
I
had
don't
them.
get it.
I liked them. They're great. They're reliable machines. I'm gonna disagree with you on
For the
that one,
price,
Nico.
I don't think so. If
For
we're
the
talking about
price,
value, I don't think
maybe.
so.
I get that. The thing that I think people gravitate towards Prusa for is their reputation and their reliability. Like if you're getting a Prusa before Bamboo Labs, if you got Prusas, like you knew they were gonna run forever. Whereas Creality, you were kind of like, V wheels, maybe it's gonna last, maybe it's not. But Prusa was like guaranteed, like it's gonna last for years and years and years. But it was crazy seeing a company that big panic drop their MK4 like that when it wasn't even. It took like 6 to 8 months for the chief feature, the input shaper, then the accelerometer to even come with the printer. Like I completely fell for that when they dropped the first trailer. I want to say it was in April of whenever 2023 or 2022. I bought one immediately, and because I thought input shaping was coming after that, so I was like, a Prusa that's as fast as the Bamboo Labs, I'm all for it. And then the accelerometer didn't come out for like 8 months. I ended up selling mine because it was slow. So I was like, I can't do
I
this.
know people who were Prusa fanboys
Hmm.
switch completely over to
That was
Bamboo
me.
Lab.
That was me. I had like three
Prusa
Prusa
fanboys. They were like,
printers.
"Oh my god, Prusa's the best thing on the planet." I was like, "Bro, y'all need to calm the hell down."
Yeah,
And
yeah,
sure enough, I said, "Get one."
yeah.
I'm not even gonna tell you like, is it really that good? I go, bro, get one. Just get
For
one.
real, for
I'm not
real.
gonna tell you. You need to experience it for yourself. They got
Mm,
one. They switched out all their machines. They
immediately.
phased it out. They sold every single one of their Prusas.
Hmm.
Bought brand new X1Cs. They got
Hmm.
the bundle either from Matter Hackers or from someone. Dude,
Hmm.
bang. Their entire print farm is X1Cs.
Yeah, and it's 3 times faster, still just as reliable. And obviously
If Bamboo Labs comes out with a 12 by 12 by
it's over.
16,
It's over. It's over.
it's done. Dude, they'll kill it.
That's what I'm waiting for next. That's what they got to come out with next, right? I mean, they've gone small.
Yeah,
They've
and
got.
then and then these assholes came out with the mini. I was like,
Yeah,
y'all were supposed to end the bed slingers.
I
What
was
happened?
I was so excited. I was like a bigger one's got to be next, right after they came out with the P1S.
No, they went
I was like, okay,
rogue.
they've
I was
done
like, who
they've
is in
done
charge
all
up
the
there?
different ones. I was
Like,
like, they've
you don't
done
want to
all
hear
the
what we were
different
talking
that they
about?
possibly
Bigger.
could.
Give me a bigger machine.
Hmm.
No,
Yeah,
but
we'll see what happens.
rumor
Hopefully,
has
that's
it.
what they
So
got next.
I've heard rumors of an X1T XL coming out,
Hmm.
a 12 by either 12 or 14 by whatever by big.
Yeah,
So we'll see, man.
I'm buying that off the jump, immediately.
Easily, I'll buy two.
For real, for real. All right. Next one, jumping into that, I wanted to get, since this podcast is geared towards beginners in 3D printing, I wanted to see if you could give us some beginner advice. What would you say are the biggest things to look for when someone is looking for that first 3D printer to buy?
Well, figure out what you're going to make first,
I agree.
right? It always comes down to that. What are you making? Like, are you trying to make jewelry? Then don't get an FDM.
Hmm.
Get resin,
Hmm.
right? Do you like messy post processing work? Don't get resin. Get FDM. All right. It all depends on what you want to make. Like, you gotta start with the end in mind. That's what I teach. When I coach, when I do business coaching, is you got to start with the end in mind. Like, what are you trying to make? What are you trying to do? And then work your way backwards.
That's great advice. I wish I had that advice when I just started because I got it didn't know what I wanted to do, and it took me probably a year to figure out what I really wanted to do and what I
Oh,
was
man,
trying to
it's
make.
a long time.
It took me a while, you know. It took me a while to figure out what it was that I wanted to do, but you know, it definitely would have been nice to start with that advice so I could take a little bit of time. But
Yeah, so
I'm
I knew I wanted to make an Iron Man suit. I knew it. And so I was like, all right, what machine is going to best fit me? The CR10? Give me one. And then I saw that there were, and then Creality S4 came out. Dude,
Mhm.
that sucker was a workhorse. And that was why I was like, dude, my S4s lasted me years,
Those were good
easily
machines.
3 years, until the Bamboo Lab came out. And I was like, well, I can't,
Yeah.
right? So I was like,
Did you ever get a CR30, the bell printers?
no. Goes
Mm,
back to what I was saying. What was going to be my use for that?
that's a great
I had
question.
no use for it.
That's a good point. I guess it comes down. It definitely comes down because I remember when the CR30s came out, they were like super popular with
They were.
prop printers.
Yeah, and then they hired Naomi Wu for to
They
sell
did,
it.
yeah, yeah, they did. I remember that.
I
That
was
was crazy.
like, bro, like it worked. It sold a whole bunch of units.
My name is Lorne Michaels. I'm the producer of Saturday Night.
The whole night?
Yeah, the whole night.
Based on the insane true story of the first time Saturday Night went live.
You ordered a llama?
Yeah, we all decided it was much funnier than a donkey.
Saturday Night, rated R, now playing exclusively in theaters.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But at the end of the day, I just even like from the professional reviews, like the print quality they were getting just wasn't great.
No.
So, I mean,
I texted
that's
Joel.
what happens when you print on an angle, right?
Yeah. So I would text Joel. I would text Uncle Jesse. Like, hey, what do y'all think? They're like, nah. All right, cool.
Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about some of the challenges that you faced when you were first starting out, or maybe even now. You know, what are the biggest challenges you face? Let's start with when you were starting out, when you were more of the beginner, and how you ended up overcoming those.
So it's such a different time from when I first started to now that if I was to give my advice, they'd be like, I don't think it would apply as well. But know your machine, right?
Yeah.
Know your machine and know your slicer. Knowing your machine now, dude, this thing is so plug and play. This thing is so intuitive. It prints so well and it's built so well that you don't even know it. You just need to, hey, make this for me.
It'll
That's all
tell you what's
do.
up.
Yeah.
My X1C tells me when the lead screws need to be lubricated. I'm like, I don't
You know
even
what
need
I
to.
mean? Like you don't have to like back CR10 S4 back in CR10 S4 days. I'd have to be like, hey, what's wrong with you today, baby girl? Are you okay?
Caressing.
You know what I mean? Like, are your belts all right? Like, are your lead screws? Do they need to be lubricated?
Mhm.
You know, and stuff like that, man. And you just don't have those same issues today.
I
You
agree.
just don't. 3D printing is so much easier now.
It really is. Even when I started in 2020, and even the jump in the 3 short years it's really crazy to see where we're at in just this little amount of time.
Yeah, dude.
It's so much easier to just do everything, you know? And like these Bamboo Labs printers, they'll tell me when something's wrong. And like they'll tell me when something's wrong, they'll give me a QR code that links exactly to what I need to get for replacement parts. They'll QR code a link on the part box to a video showing exactly how to replace it or how to maintain it. It's just everything is done for you. Like everything is done for you, and if you have to do it yourself, there's videos and help forums and chat boxes on how to do it.
Yeah, dude. It's so easy, man. It's dumb.
Anybody could do it, huh?
I would no.
Oh, okay.
Still no.
Still no. I guess that's fair. That's fair. You do need to be intuitive to understand your slicer. I like the advice about understanding your slicer for sure. That's the biggest thing for me as I've come into my own is I really have gotten good. I use Orca Slicer and I've gotten really good at understanding all that. And so it's easy now for me to look at a print and see, okay, this might be wrong. Like this might need a little bit of tuning or this might need a little bit of skips here. And it's become really good for me now that I have a full understanding of one slicer. I would also say no matter what brands of printers you have, if you can, join all your printers into one slicer. Like for me, for a little while, I was using Prusa Slicer and Bamboo Studio. And what I wish I had done was just bring the Prusa profile into Bamboo Studio so I could have everything on the same slicer so I don't get confused or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Dude, did my dog fuck up your audio? I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Don't even worry about it.
You can remove that because that fucker just, I guess somebody walked by. He's just really protective, large German Shepherd. And
he gets excited, huh?
Yeah, I'm so sorry, man.
No, you're good. Like, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. You're all good. Let's see. All right. Now that we've kind of talked about the challenges you faced, I know how much help I needed when I'm running into challenges. I'd be looking up. I'm a Reddit boy. I'm looking up help forums left, right, and center. I need help. What was the biggest tool or resource that you have used for help in your 3D printing career? Are you a big software guy? Do you use Reddit? Help forums? What do you want?
First of all, a lot of people are gonna get mad at me for this, but Reddit is the cesspool of the fucking internet. There's so much negativity on that site, bro. It's so crazy. It is ridiculous.
I'll never forget, for me, I was trying to get a Raise 3D printer, like the big ones, the super big ones, and I went on their own subreddit, and they were trashing the printer on their own subreddit.
You know what I mean? Like, it is the most... Reddit is such a toxic place. Dude, I'm never on... I went on Reddit one time, and I went viral on Reddit. It was my Surflex a lot.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, dude, after that, dude, people are just assholes on there, man. Like...
Yeah.
Like, why? It makes you ask, why? What is wrong with you? Like, why are you so mad? Are you okay? Like, who hurt you? So, no, I don't go on Reddit. The help I got was YouTube. Believe it or not, man, the person who got me into 3D printing is good old Uncle Jesse.
No way!
Yeah, man. Good old Uncle Jesse. So, he and I have become good friends now. I actually invited him to my wedding.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So I texted him and I texted David Tobin, Joel telling 3D Printing Nerd. I texted his executive producer. And I was like, hey, are y'all in California in March? Y'all want to come to the wedding? And they're like, yeah, dude. We'll see, about the schedule. I don't know if they're going to come. But, it was Uncle Jesse who got me into 3D printing. And any help I needed was either... Maker's Muse, Joe Telling, Uncle Jesse, or Tom.
Tom
Sand. Fuck, I butchered.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know what you're talking.
Yeah. Sorry, Tom, if you're listening. I'm so sorry, bro. The ladder.
I'm gonna get this right. If it's the last thing, it's like Slan.
I butchered it. It was freaking Tom.
I'm looking it up. How'd you and Uncle Jesse meet?
So I made my own YouTube content, and then so I made these cosplay calipers. So everybody's like, "Oh, Uncle Jesse made these cosplay calipers," and I was like, "Yeah, he did." But if you go to Uncle Jesse's original video about the cosplay calipers,
yeah,
I'm the original creator.
Oh, nice. All right, it's Thomas. It's Thomas Sandladerer.
Okay, so I was right, Sandladerer.
Yes, you were pretty much right. But yeah, those are four of pretty much the best sources I've recommended everybody except for Thomas, which I will recommend now on previous episodes. Those guys are great.
Yeah. So those guys know their stuff.
Absolutely.
For any help.
Especially Maker's Muse. I've been watching him before I even started 3D printing.
Yeah.
He's been for a while. He's been in the game for a while.
So for back in 2018, and the Ender 3s and the CR10s. That's where you needed a lot of, hey, here's how you make sure your bed is level by using a piece of paper and then you have enough drag.
Don't give me nightmares.
I would do calibrations while the machine was moving. I would have a specific file where it would print calibration cubes on specific points of the bed. Yeah. So I know the bed needs to be raised here, so on and so forth, all that. But now, bro,
it does it for you.
I
There's
don't
not
even
even
do the calibration on these things.
there's not even like knobs or anything. You can't change the bed even if you wanted to.
Oh, dude, for these, I don't even do a calibration on these anymore.
Awesome. They're
I
so
just
great.
go print. Like it
Yeah.
says, do a flow calibration and bed leveling. I go, no, you are fine. Click,
Yeah.
boom.
I know you're good.
I go.
I like that. That's what I love so much about the 3D printing community is it's so tight knit, and there's so many people out there who are so okay with sharing, secrets. Like nobody's hiding anything in this community. It's so great. It's maybe excluding Reddit aside, but especially on YouTube and like all the guys, it's surprisingly easy to contact one of the more famous guys in like an Uncle Jesse or maybe a Maker's Muse. Like if you comment on their YouTube videos, more likely than not they're going to respond. It's so great, and why I love this community so much is how truly open source it is and how everybody really comes together and helps help each other out.
I agree, man. It's a great community, dude. Especially the Facebook group, the Armor group, the one that I started back in 2018.
I'll link that in the show notes.
So I started my Armor group back in 2018, and if you ever need help, those guys, all of it. Also, shout out to 3D Rescue, that group, small group. There's only like 7,000 people in there, but some Facebook groups get toxic, man. Like you ask a question and they rip you 8 new assholes. Like, dude, it's just a person asking a question, man. Like, you don't need to be rude about it,
Yeah.
If you got nothing nice to say, just scroll. Just fucking scroll.
Are you on the Discord groups at all?
No, thank God, no. No,
Yeah.
I don't have time for that. Anybody has time for that.
Yeah.
But I know there are groups that are just super, super, super toxic, and you stay away from those. But this one, our group, 3DP Rescue, and those two for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Great groups to be in. Great group of people.
I'll link both of those groups down in the show notes if any of my listeners want to check them out. I'm sure more than willing and able to help out. And just one more thing that I love about that. Okay, so moving on, only a few questions left here. Let's talk about, you've been in the game for a while. Let's talk about what is the biggest advancement in the 3D printing tech that you've seen during your time in this space?
You went from bed slingers and like, I mean, shit, man. Just the overall quality of the machine alone.
Yeah.
From Ender 3.
You're not rolling V-wheels and extrusion anymore.
To this? Dude,
Yeah.
What?
Crazy.
Yo, it's fast, dude. It's really fast. I mean, next thing you know, what? It's going to be a gyroscopic arm where it goes like this.
Uh-huh. Like they already had that for the 3D printed houses. They got like a crane arm just moving, printing a whole house.
I understand, but rather than just X and Y,
like a fifth axis arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll turn and then print this way, dude.
Yeah.
I see that happening sometimes too.
I see that happening too.
Well, this is me being hopeful, right?
I like that. I think judging by how far things have come along and how quickly, I think it's going to happen at least in the next decade, hopefully sooner than that. But I would also say it's the reliability with how much faster everything has got. I feel like the general consensus was like there's going to be a time period while we're ramping up in speed that we're going to have to work on the reliability, because you can go faster, but it's going to be hard to get it to print as good as when it was printing slow. And that jump kind of happened immediately. Yeah.
Dude, it went from it's fast and reliable, and I was like, no shit.
Immediately.
I remember when X1 and Bamboo Lab was having their first Kickstarter. I was like, you lying. I go, that you're full of shit. I go, there's no way it's like that. And then good old UJ, I was on the phone with him. It was August of 2 years ago. I was on the phone with him Monday morning. Or it was a Saturday morning. I said, hey, dude, is it really that good? He goes, bro, get one. I was like, shut up. So he was on the phone. I ordered one. He was on the phone.
Yeah, it's honestly crazy. That for me, I wish I had that kind of validation. I got one on a whim. I had seen some YouTube videos. I'm pretty sure I watched Uncle Jesse's video. I'm 99% sure that I did, but I was still getting one. I didn't have anybody like telling me get one. I was like, I bought a P1P. I was like, I hope it's, as good as everyone says it is. And then it printed a benchy in like 17 minutes. And I remember I called my boss. I was like, get over there. You got to get over here, man. You got to see this. It's sick. It's awesome. Oh my goodness. And he ran over and we watched it. It's really amazing to me how it made the jump immediately from faster and reliable immediately, rather than just, having to get faster first and then work on the reliability aspect of things.
Yeah, I agree.
That was really something special. And Bamboo Labs is just, they're where it's at, man. Unbeatable right now. They're on top of the world. Let's hope that they can.
Absolutely, they're king.
Yeah. Do you think that Bamboo Labs over these next, I don't know, maybe 5 years, do you think that they're going to stay on top, or do you think the other companies are going to catch up, and, like Prusa and Creality, and kind of make it harder for them to be where they're at now?
So that's a business question.
Yeah,
right?
get your magic 8-ball out. Tell me what you see.
The only way you stay on top is if you keep listening to your people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you keep innovating and advancing. The only company right now that can do that is Bamboo Labs. Everyone else is catching up.
I agree.
Right now, Bamboo Labs is the bar.
Mm-hmm.
You got Creality, Prusa, Anycubic, even Elegoo is, right? Right now, Elegoo's on top of resin. No one's beating him in resin.
Yeah.
Elegoo's top. Like, the Saturn is the best resin printer to this day on market, in my opinion. Okay.
Just wait till Bamboo Lab gets in there.
Yeah. If Bamboo Labs wants to stay on top, they have to keep pushing. And so the question is, are they the type of company that will? I haven't seen enough that tells me that they are.
Yeah.
Because people screamed bigger, and what they do?
They went smaller.
They went mini.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, pretty sure that's not what we said. And then the next printer they came out, the A1, another fucking bed slinger. Like, dude, that's not what we want. Right? They did listen when they said this was too expensive. So they stripped it down, made a P1P.
That was smart.
That was smart. Smart move. Right? So, two things. They got to listen to their customer base.
Mm-hmm.
And two, dude, they have to push. What's next? What's after faster and more reliable?
It's got to be bigger.
And then after that, then what's after bigger?
Better. Who knows?
Right? What's after that? The one who answers that is becomes king again.
Yeah.
I personally think after they go better, faster, bigger, they need to put every one of these in every single home in America. But this is still too big to be put in every single home in America. I think that's why they went with the A1 Mini.
I see what you're saying.
Because they want
Also,
to put one in every single home in America.
The price point too, I think is a good reason.
Yeah.
I understand putting everyone in America.
They have to answer. So we like to print toys. I mean, fuck it. Let's be honest. The reason why you get a 3D printer is because you want to make your own fucking toys.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people want to make, practical stuff. I get it. Yeah, sure. But the one who gets to answer, the one who gets to dictate and show the world, you should get a 3D printer, is on top. This is on a business standpoint. This isn't on an innovation standpoint. This isn't on a development standpoint. This is on the business standpoint.
I agree with what you're saying, and I think I haven't seen enough from Bamboo Labs. I think Prusa is the company to make that happen. I think right now Prusa has...
price point. Not with that price point. Absolutely not.
Hang on. I like Prusa. Let me fight for my boys. I like Prusa. And Prusa to me they have the global reach. They're not based in America. They're based in Prague, obviously. So I think if Prusa is able to get the price point down and come up with something, if they come up with a Core XY machine, I think it's gonna be competitive with the Bamboo Labs just on reputation alone. I think Prusa has the best reputation in the business of 3D printing, and so I think personally, Prusa. I know you don't like Prusa. I think Prusa personally is going to be the company that has the best chance of making that happen, of getting a printer in every single home. But that's personally just my opinion.
That's fair.
Tell me you disagree without telling me you disagree. But that's left what we see. I really like Bamboo Labs for creating the competitive market of the
Either way,
innovations we've seen. It's just crazy.
honestly, man,
Either way, we win.
when Bamboo Labs and Prusa and Creality and Anycubic and Elegoo, I don't even buy Anycubic in this conversation. I love those guys, but y'all are behind.
Stratus is
Right? When they fight,
we win.
we win.
Exactly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's the beauty of the marketplace. When companies compete, the customer wins because it pushes innovation. It pushes you to get better, and it pushes better product out into the marketplace that we can consume and make better stuff.
I completely agree with you. It makes me really happy that group of engineers 2 years ago decided that the 3D printing market wasn't good enough and decided to go off on their own and make something that the world hadn't seen
Absolutely. Before. Mm-hmm. I agree.
That's really good insight, Nico. So to wrap it up, I'm going to ask you a question I'm hoping to ask everybody else on my interviews. If you could go back and give your beginning self some advice, what would you be telling them?
Don't quit. Keep going.
Was that ever a question in your mind, quitting?
Fuck no, absolutely not. So, I mean, if I was to go back, I mean, that's really, what I would tell myself. I never did. That was never a question in my mind. So I don't know if that really answers your question. But just keep going, man. Have fun with it. I have zero regrets. My 3D printing journey has been so fun, dude. It's been so fun. I get to make this, bro. Come on, man. Like,
he just put a mask on his face, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not even on YouTube, bro.
Forgets we're audio only. Maybe later, but for now we're audio only.
Dude, I haven't had so much fun in a while. It brings out my childhood. Mm-hmm. It brings back the 12-year-old me. 3D printing to me has just been an outlet. I should change my answer, man. If I was to go back and give myself one piece of advice, have more fun.
Mm.
Right? I had a lot of fun when I first started, and have even more fun. When you make a mistake, make mistakes. It's cool. Don't worry about it. It happens. There's a learning curve, but have fun. That's it. Because it's so much fun. It really is just so much fun.
It really is to have nothing, and then a few hours later you have something created literally out of thin air.
Even some Jetsons shit. Okay,
it's
for all
crazy.
of you who don't know, I'm a little older, and I watched the Jetsons when I was little. Jetsons was an old cartoon back in the late '80s.
I'm trying to help you out with the no camera. People don't have to see.
I'm older, guys. I'm older. The Jetsons.
But
for some of y'all listening, y'all know who the Jetsons are.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really good piece of advice. That's definitely something that I wish I did. When I got started in 3D printing, for me, it was purely from a business standpoint. I saw that I could potentially make money from this, and that's what I wanted to do. But I definitely wish that I started out just for the fun of it and just because I wanted to make stuff that I wanted to make. But I've been able to see that more now, and I'm having more fun than I have ever had 3D printing right now, for sure.
Yeah, man, for sure. Always have fun with what you're doing.
Absolutely. I think, honestly, that wraps it up. Nico, thank you so much for your time. This is easily the best first interview I could have ever asked for.
Shit, man. Thank you.
One of my favorites, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Stop. I'm just a dude in the garage. I'm just to anyone and all of you listen, I'm just like you. I'm just a dude in the garage having fun, just hanging out. So Say hi, say what's up if you guys see me on Facebook. If you guys see me out in public, people out in public have seen me and like, oh shit, it's you. Like, hey man, I'm just like you.
I'm just a regular guy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
The person you see on YouTube, the person you hear on these podcasts is the same guy you're gonna meet when you go out. I promise you.
Exactly. That's what I really liked about you listening to your podcast too. I could tell you were very authentic and you didn't, put on an act for the camera. That's something that I really respect. So before you get out of here, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to link to?
If you guys want files to try out, go to NikkoIndustriesMembership.com. You get free files for an account with a free account, and you guys can try us out before you buy. Over 1,300 files in there. By the time this comes out, it will be 1,400 files. Promise.
Dang, that's quite a few files in there. Be sure to.
I think I'm the biggest membership to date. I have more files than anybody else. I know that because you get about 2 to 3 files a day is what you get.
With that kind of output, I would agree with you. But be sure to check them out. I'll make sure to link them down in the show notes. Thank you everybody for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.
Peace.
All right, that wraps up the interview with Nikko. I really had a great time with him. I couldn't thank him enough for agreeing to do the interview with me. Like we said, a lot of times in the interview, I'm going to leave his links, everything you need to know, everywhere you need to find him. I'm going to leave it down in the show notes. Please be sure to check that out. Please be sure to check the Google form in there and leave me your thoughts. Also, now that we've hit 50 5-star reviews, we're on the road to 100 5-star reviews, in which case I will be giving away a 3D printer, a Sovol SV06 or SV07, one of those two, to one of my lucky listeners. So let's keep going on the reviews. Let's get up to 100, and then one of you guys can win a printer. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you guys next time.